Welcome to the podcast, Kill Complacency. Here we inspire intentional living by motivating others to handle hard better. And here's your host, Marty Hofmann.
Hey, on the podcast today is Zack Davis. He's a fellow investor, local investor with me. He's also a realtor. Him and I, on this podcast, we talk real estate a little bit, but really what the heart of this first episode was about was learning how risk leads to other opportunities for Zack, as things don't always go as planned, but there's always more opportunity. So I hope you guys get a lot out of this, and I hope this inspires you to do harder, bigger, badder things. So today's guest is Zack Davis, and I know Zack as a real estate investor.
Yes, sir.
He's a lot more than that. Recently started his own podcast. But Zack, could you tell us a little bit of your journey on how you got into real estate or how you got to where you are today?
Yeah, for sure. So first off, thank you for having me. I appreciate the opportunity, and I'm looking forward to it. How I got into real estate was around 2017-ish, and I got into new home sales. So I started in new home sales and was in that for almost 2 years. Climbed the ladder, got real comfortable in my sales process, and really thought that was it. And then my friend Tez and his business partner Kevin, you know Tez personally, they came by and said, hey, we're going to start investing. We're going to do some wholesaling and things like that. We want you to be a part of it. So it just felt right. So literally as soon as I'm established with the new home sales job, I studied to get my real estate license, and then within a month I get my license, quit my job, or buy a house, quit my job, and had to get a new vehicle, and wrapped up my first wholesale deal, all within like 30 days. So as soon as they said pull the trigger, I worked in the background and then jumped, and that was 2019. And then started mainly wholesaling and realtor things, so on market and off market. And then slowly was able to build my skills to where it turned into creative finance or some flips and things like that. And then been in real estate now almost 8 years, and it's just, I feel like it's just growing every day. I was thinking about it when I was on my way up here. Every time I think that, like, I'm trying to analyze what I'm going through, it always seems to be just going in the right direction. And I know that comes from action and mindset and God and all those things you put in place.
Yeah.
But it's nice to see it work. So I think the journey always changes, but always taking those risks have helped me stay consistent with it, because it's an up and down business.
How did Tez and Kevin, how did they know you?
So when I first got my original new home sales job, it was with Tez and Kevin.
Okay.
So I grew up with Tez.
Okay.
I went to junior high and high school with him. And he said, hey, he actually saw me at my Finish Line job at Sooner Mall, and he was in a suit. I was like, what are you doing? Because we worked regular jobs at the time. Like $20,000 a year was great money.
Yeah.
So I saw him and said, what are you doing? He said, well, I've been selling insurance. And I said, okay, what's that look like? And he said, I think you should do it, because if I can do it, you can do it. So I go interview, they want to bring me on, and then he calls me and says, hey, I'm actually quitting the insurance. I'm going to go to new home sales. And this is within a week. So there's a recurring theme that even though I don't see myself as risky as I actually am, you have to be able to pivot. So I'm at this secure job. Then I go to the insurance. He doesn't want me to go now. He's like, no, go interview at new home sales. So I go interview with the manager, and the manager at the time is Kevin. He interviews me. Definitely wasn't as confident or just as relaxed as I am now.
Sure.
So he didn't think I was ready for that type of sales profession. It's a pretty intense environment sometimes with selling those homes. So he said I wasn't ready. And the lady, who was like a mom to me, even though maybe more of a big sister because she was only a little older at Finish Line, she said I couldn't come back. In a good way, though. She said it out of love. Her name's Shannon. She's amazing. I was the one that told her I wanted to take that risk to new home sales. And when I didn't get hired, she's like, well, you're not coming back here. She's like, if
like
I
you
really
burned your bridge.
Yeah, and if I really needed it, she would have brought me back on.
Sure.
But she wanted me to stay strong. She's like, no, you've got this. So for a month or so, I did some odd jobs just connecting the dots. And then Tez called me and said, hey, I think you should try again. I think it was only about a month or so. And I interviewed again with Kevin. And he was like, man, you're like a different person. And brought me on. So I started with Tez and Kevin at Roush Coleman. Started going through the process there. Was about 3 months in or so. When you first start, you're supposed to go to training, but since I had already been established in the business and then I was getting these training notifications, I was just immature. I was like, I don't want to go do that.
Yeah.
Seems like a waste of time. I'd rather go sell houses like Tez and all these people on the team are doing. So I just go sell a house. And the next meeting, I was called into the office and the higher-ups had said to chop me because the people that didn't show up, get fired.
Oh.
So
even though you were selling,
it's like
you weren't getting trained.
Yeah, it's like this is required, and if they don't think this is important, then just chop them. It was like 3 of us, not even 3 in Oklahoma City. It was me and then someone from Arkansas, whatever. So then I'm like, dang, I got into it and was figuring it out, and I messed up. So then I go into a month of not knowing what to do. I had made just enough money to pay my bills that month, so I was like, well, let me just see what I'm going to do.
Are you married at the time, Zach?
No, this is 2017, maybe, around that time.
You're 25-ish?
Yeah. And honestly, me and Tez didn't talk for like 2 weeks, and not out of resentment. We were sad, and we almost didn't want to bring it up.
Sure.
We were really hurt about it because, man, as soon as I got on at Roush, he took me to buy my first suit. He said, we wear suits, and I'll take you to get your first one, and I'll show you the ropes. And we were staying late at model homes, and it was just really unique up front. And then it got chopped. So we didn't talk. And then like 2 weeks in, he called me, and he said, man, it's been heavy on me. I just think you should just apply at other new home sales because obviously you can do it.
Yeah.
So I applied to maybe 5 or 6 new home sales and then got an interview at Home Creations and got picked up by them. At first was in a little bit of a, I would say, not probation period, but something like that because I got fired from the other place.
Did you have you had your license though, right?
No.
Not yet.
For new home sales, you can't have your license active.
Okay.
Because you're basically a representative for the new home sales.
I gotcha.
So that's another thing I love about new home sales is you didn't have to get your license, but I was able to work with so many realtors that I learned how to work with buyers, sellers, realtors, inspectors, appraisers, construction. I got to see how those conversations go and learn the range of those particular people. So it helped kind of give me some experience there. But I started moving up the ranks at Home Creations, got my own neighborhood at Lone Oak East, which is 150th in Portland. It was one of their more popular neighborhoods at the time. It was a more entry-level price for them. I think when I started, it was in the 180s, so that was good for that area near Deer Creek. And that was the neighborhood I helped kind of stay consistent with. And then right when I got into it is when Kevin and them showed up.
I gotcha. And then you came on with them, wholesaling houses.
Yeah, it was mainly wholesale up front.
Yeah.
And my first appointment I ever went to was a hoarder house in Midwest City. She saw our ad on TV, went out to the appointment. They said, you know what you're doing as far as sales, so just build the rapport. When it's time for the kill, when it's time to get the contract, I'll make it work. I was like, okay. And mind you, I just came from
hoarder house, so it's
yeah,
lots of junk everywhere. It smells like everything.
And I just came from granite, raised ceilings, all this stuff. So I walk in and it's higher than this table of stuff, and there's dogs jumping around. But I just build the relationship. You're a book guy, so I was reading 4-2 formula a lot, and it was teaching me how to ask better questions, how to go 3 whys deep, how to understand their dissatisfaction, all those things. So I'm really trying to learn her. About 30 minutes in, we get a price. It makes sense. Kevin and Tez wrap it up. And
tell me numbers on that first one. What'd you buy it for? Do you remember?
No, I don't. I know that it was on Fairchild, and we wholesaled it for $11,500 to Alex Moses.
Okay.
Within 30 minutes of wrapping it up. So I don't know the number. I bet it was in the...
I was just curious if...
No, if it was Fairchild and it was 2019, I would say we probably got it in the 60s and maybe sold it for 71 because it wouldn't have been over 70 at that time.
Yeah.
But so then because I'm just watching YouTube on wholesaling and getting my real estate license and just trying to figure out how I'm going to get paid. Buy a house. I know my mortgage is coming up and I have no job now. And then I start with them. Like, it was all so fast. And to wrap it up and then sell it that morning and get Alex under contract. And then we went and had breakfast and they're like, so what do you think? Like, it's not always going to be that easy, but that's what it is. And I was like, it seems all right. So then we just sped that up and kind of increased it to where we were doing 20, 30 deals a month, maybe more, sometimes less, but just steady, consistent. And that's what I've been doing since 2019 is wholesaling, flipping, some rental, but I let go what I had, and then a lot of realtor things too.
Zach, you and I talk like we know. I mean, you and I know all these terms, but the audience doesn't. So wholesaling essentially is when you flip paper. So
Yep.
I come to you and we lock it up for, let's say, $50,000, and then I take it to Alex in this case, and I say, hey, Alex, this is a great house. Would you give me 60 for it? And then Alex buys it, and you're just the middle guy.
Yep.
The whole time, and you're flipping a contract. It's an assignable contract that says you can assign it, but you're selling it to Alex, and then you're getting the split of the difference. So for those of you listening who don't know what wholesaling is, like Zach and I live and breathe this stuff. So
no, it's funny because when I started, before I quit my job to wholesale, Tez was like, all right, listen to Flip to Freedom by Sean Terry and watch YouTube and I'll train you and we're just going to figure it out, because they were figuring it out too. And I'm listening to that podcast and hearing the flow, get the contract, move it, find a buyer, those things. And then we just started doing it. So it just became natural pretty quick, and then slowly turned into other exit strategies. But up front, mainly wholesale. It was majority all wholesale, for me at least, and then listings. Yeah. Because I've always been more listing heavy since I have leads. So I'm converting them to something else. Yeah. So it's been more listings and wholesale, from that beginning starting point. Yeah.
Yeah. Makes sense. What was your why for real estate? Or was it just sales, or was it just paying the bills? I mean, why was it Tez? What was the motivation?
Yeah. I was pretty lost after I graduated college. I went to college thinking the only reason I went is because I wanted to play basketball. So I went to play basketball and got a business degree, but didn't know what to do with a degree. And I wasn't ever terrible at school. I was always good grades, but it was never something that interested me. So the classes that interested me were like humanities classes or mindset things that make you think. It wasn't math or things like that. So I really just went for basketball, and once I graduated there, I was still working at Finish Line. I was in a management position but not making any money, and was kind of lost on what to do. And then I would say the why started up front just for money purposes, because I'm like, oh, this is an opportunity to make commission. I've never done commission. I'm only an hourly. So I start on the commission side, and it was rough. I mean, in new home sales, a lot of them will give you a little bit of security. Okay. So like less than $500 every 2 weeks or something. That's what it was at the time. It was pretty low. I think it was like $400. But for months, I mean, it was only living off the minimum and then maybe a sale here or there. So it seems rough up front. But I was like, no, like this is the most different job I've ever done. And I know the opportunities. And I think having people around me to look up to helped a lot. Like me and Tez are from similar environments, and he was doing well at it. He was doing extremely well. And once I got my footing, I started to do well. And then I also saw the people that had nothing to do with us that had been doing it 20 years. And it's like it's working for them. So I started doing that, and I thought I was happy with the new home sales, but it really is just a regular job. Sure. It's 40 plus hours a week. You got to be in this model home. And that was something unique about me is in new home sales, they want you to stay at your model home. But I was just more into marketing. So I was always bending the rules to go to coffees, to go to brokers opens, to present at brokerages, to meet realtors, to volunteer at schools, to donate clothes, just whatever I
More
could.
creative things.
Yeah, I was like, I can't just sit here.
Mm-hmm.
And now with lead programs and things, maybe I could have just been sitting there calling people that are interested, but at that time, that was my outlet. And a lot of new home sales reps weren't like that at the time.
Yeah.
And then I thought I was really established, but when Tez and them said, try this, it was really just betting on myself. And then the why, I would say, would have to be just knowing that I don't want to fail. Yeah. Now, of course, I'm always down to learn. I always want those lessons, but I'm going to support myself. So I have rules for myself for that. So once I got into the wholesaling side and realized how much freer I was,
mm-hmm.
it just became more addicting.
Zach, how has your why changed in the last, say, 5 years?
I would say it changed a lot. Luckily, I'm blessed enough to be consistent at making money,
mm-hmm.
which I can go on for days about that, because there's been times I've even come to tears when I'm thinking like, dang, I really have to just think of this every day. Like, as much as you want to act like you don't,
mm-hmm.
I have to think of a dollar sign every day.
Mm-hmm.
And it's literally brought me to tears sometimes. I was like, is there not more? Like, is there not more to this? Is it not trading with someone? Is it not doing work for somebody? Is it not learning a skill? Like, it's just how are you going to pay your bill the next day?
Yeah.
So that drives me nuts in general. But I've been more into living life, and that comes from being able to make some more money. But a few years ago, I told myself, I want to have my best day every day, because sometimes I get stressed. Sometimes I think I'm behind or try to get in a rush. But I've just tried to get away from that and have happy days and be present. And
what does that look like when you wake up in the morning? How do you manifest, this is going to be my best day ever?
So there are times when I go through periods where it's big on affirmations. Like sometimes if I'm struggling, the person that helps me the most is my wife, which I think is the most important for a man especially, but just anyone in general, is to have a partner that really wants to improve them.
Yeah.
Like when I see with your weekly date nights and things like that, like those little things really matter. And when she sees I'm down, she'll be like, hey, you need to listen to this like for 2 weeks or 3 weeks or something, and it'll improve me. But we wake up, she always goes and works in the garden. I always walk my dogs. I feed them, then we reconnect. So as soon as my feet hit the floor, I'm usually already focused on taking them out and walking them for about a mile or so. So I get a lot of mental clarity there. Yeah. And I try to always plan my days ahead of time. So I'm big on lists. We talked about lists today, but not only my electronic calendar, but I want to have like my 5 hot points of what I need to do the next day already written out by my stuff. And I think that frees up a lot of clarity. Because sometimes even
do you do that first thing in the morning, or is that the
I do it the day before?
Okay.
So worst case, I'm doing it before I go to bed at like 9 or 10 o'clock, trying to write out my schedule. But majority of the time, I'm doing it like early evening. Get it knocked out before I cut off for the day. And I know these 5 things need to be done tomorrow, and I'm trying to cut off for this time.
We talked before the show started about kids, and that would be one thing that would change. Yeah. Like for me, I journal every night, but it's right before bed. And I journal my top 3 wins of the day, and then I journal tomorrow's wins, which is the same thing. Yeah. But I come up with identify 3 things that are my priority. And then from there, I journal gratitudes. But
that's something I want to say then. I in the morning and at night, those are the last like words I say in my head though.
Is gratitudes.
Yeah, gratitudes. Yeah. Like I'm grateful.
It's made a huge difference in my life.
Yeah. It gives me a lot of peace.
When I read up on it in some books, and then what I've noticed it does for me is it makes me a nicer guy. Because initially the first time you do it, like what I'll do is I'll write wins, tomorrow's wins, and then I fill up a whole page of things I'm thankful for. And that's right. I'm grateful for, and then I just ... and I just fill it in. But the first few times you do that, it's work because you're identifying those things. But as you do it,
it's almost unlimited.
Well, it is unlimited, absolutely. But the next day, you're more conscientious of it.
Mm-hmm.
And you're looking for those things. And so then you're saying to somebody, hey, thanks for making lunch. Hey, thanks for opening the door for me. Hey, thanks for calling that customer for me. And you're just, I believe I'm a nicer guy simply because I do a gratitude journal every night. And it's just it just flows out of my life more freely.
Yeah, I think I 100% agree that it was harder up front. And then now it's like, I've got to stop myself because I could be grateful for so many things. And I think it gives me a lot of humbleness too before the day starts or before I'm ending the day, is that it's not just me in control of all of this.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a reason why I'm here. There's a reason why all those times you had hard times, you got through them.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason you're alive. There's a reason you're doing this. So it just gives you some purpose, I think, too, when you're grateful instead of just complaining.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that I'm not like, oh, I got to run to this place real quick and do this appointment. But I'm certainly grateful for the little things. And that's why my why has changed, is I'm more in tune to just living a good life. Whether that's a good deed for another or a conversation or something for myself, whatever it is, I'm just really in tune with wanting to be as happy as I can be, because it's so hard already. Like, life in general is tough already. So why have a bad attitude or why be negative or not try to be there for somebody? Because you would want someone there for you and you don't know when it could end.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of things I think about, but I just try to be good in the moment.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Sometimes it's hard. Hey, just wanted to thank you guys for listening to the end. In closing, I just wanted to add that if this message resonates with you, if it aligns with your values, and something in it today triggered something, then you can also look me up on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube. We are really trying to help people live more intentional lives, to kill the complacency with which they have subscribed to. I know there's many ways which I get sucked in all the time. So if this is beneficial, follow me there, spread the message, share. And if you want to wear a billboard of a message of kill complacency or live intentionally, then check out my merch store in show notes as well. But it's www.mindsetshop.com. Mindset is with an X, so it's MINDXET shop, SHOP.com. Mindsetshop.com. Check it out. Thank you guys so much, and have a great one.
Thank you for listening to Kill Complacency. Follow and share our podcast to change lives and inspire growth.